There is a type of biological entity in the world that has been discovered by a few but remains unscientifically proven to exist. We collectively refer to these creatures as identified, mysterious animals, or Yeti beings, IRD for short. Mount Everest, being the highest peak on Earth, experiences extremely cold temperatures and permanent snow cover, making it difficult for any form of life to survive. Despite almost no plants or animals being able to live there, it is home to the legendary creature known as the Yeti. It is said that these giant, bush monsters crossed from our country through the Asian mountains to reach the Himalayas. Descriptions of the Yeti vary greatly. Some say they look like apes, others like bears, while some insist they are an unknown human-like species. Before the 19th century, this creature did not attract much attention, but in the 20th century, some explorers claimed to have found large footprints. In the 12th century, there were already legends about the Yeti in Tibet. The Yeti was also called the wild man in local areas, said to be similar to primates, standing over 2 meters tall, covered with brown fur, and having well-developed muscles. People have given many explanations for the existence of the Yeti, including the idea that missing animals turn into Yetis after crossing the Himalayas, and purely folk tales. According to Tibetan tradition, they acknowledge the existence of various types of Yetis, one walking on 2 legs, while another is larger and walks on all 4 limbs. They make their living by preying on livestock. The Yeti usually act at night and emit high-pitched cries. In Tibet, hearing the sound of the Yeti is more common than actually seeing them. The image of the double-legged man often appears in decorative paintings at Buddhist temples. According to 12th century Tibetan religious and historical texts, these wild men share a common ancestor with humans. They are neither human nor entirely animal now. In the Himalayan mountains, there is a widely circulated story about an injured meditator helping a snowman whose foot was injured and infected. The meditator helped clean the wound and bandage it. As a token of appreciation, the snowman gave the meditator a tiger as a gift. The meditator kept the tiger's skin and offered it to the monastic community. In the 17th century, a Buddhist leader named Segi Aishi traveled on foot from India and eventually settled in a cave in Nepal. He claimed that, in his living cave, the snowmen provided him food and water, allowing him to meditate peacefully. When one of them died, he retained their skull as a sacred object and placed it in a temple built in 1667. This real existence became part of the monks' blessing ceremonies in the temple. Later, the temple also collected a hand pressure from another snowman, which has been kept for hundreds of years, strictly banned anyone from touching these precious artifacts. However, during an expedition in 1959, Seawood stole several finger bones and replaced them with human finger bones. In 1889, British explorer Lawrence Senshaw first mentioned the snowman's footprints in his book Himalaya, according to the legend of the Tibetans. These huge footprints were said to have been left by a creature called the Snowy Wilderness Man. In the early 21st century, the first batches of expeditions and hunting parties came to the Himalayas to search for this legendary air-coated snowman. However, it wasn't until 1921 that the Mount Everest exploration led by Charles Howard gained media attention. Mahua and his companions discovered some unrecognizable marks in the snow, which locals confirmed were left by the snowman. However, due to the tense situation between our country and Tibet at the time, this also made it extremely difficult to find the snowman. Until 1951, China peacefully liberates Tibet, but agrees to keep Tibet's political system unchanged and protect religious freedom. This includes the belief in the snowman. As the political situation stabilizes, explorers have once again flooded into Tibet, hoping to find this mysterious creature. In 1951, the expedition led by Eric Sipton obtained one of the most famous pieces of Yeti evidence, also known as the Sipton mark. According to reports, this photo shows a massive humanoid footprint discovered at an altitude of 5,400 meters over Mount Everest. In 1952, the year after Shipton took the photo, a Swiss expedition team discovered traces of a snowman at an altitude of 4,800 meters. Between 1960 and 1961, Edmund Solari and Max Perkins led a team of scientists and to investigate the legend of the snowman. They inspected the relics of the snowman enshrined in the temple and finally confirmed that this hand bone was from another human. At that time, they did not know that the hand had already been replaced, and they obtained permission from the temple monks. You can take the snowman's scalp, 1970s, our country also sent over 100 people to investigate the snowman, but in the end, they found nothing. 2017. A group of scientists conducted a study analyzing 20